Hi, I'm Anisha Rai Mukhopadhyay, a woman just like all of you, sitting out here, living in this whole chaotic city of Kolkata, living with a lot of pride inside my heart. And I love to be who I am. I'm 25 and I recently have been crowned Miss Plus Size India. The crown was amazing. Winning it was all the more amazing. The best part about the whole pageant was that I got to know so much more about myself. And getting to know more about myself, of course, involves a lot of other things about me. My present, my past, my future. It's all interlinked, like just like yours is. It's in the same way mine is as well. The one incident that I would like to share with all of you, and which I think all of you should know about me, you must have read, a lot of you must have, come across it on newspapers or magazines where I have been giving interviews for quite some time now. The biggest truth in my life is I'm 25 and I'm a widow. My husband passed away within 2 months of, the time we got married. And probably, it broke me completely, broke me apart, tore me apart. I couldn't look at myself for almost 3 months in the mirror. And I had only one choice, that I could either make that my biggest strength or my biggest weakness. And I chose to make it my biggest strength. I worked hard and I worked on myself a lot. My mental stability, my emotional controls, my speech, myself. I was very fidgeting. I'm still. No one is perfect. Neither are you, nor am I. Even after wearing the crown, I'm not. And I don't think I'm going to be anytime soon in life. But I did work a lot on myself. I had to. And somehow I have gained the power, rather I can say I've gained some amount of belief, faith and confidence to sit here and talk about myself and talk about who I am in front of everyone. My relationship with myself was very strong, I must say. Since childhood, since I was like an independent girl. I lost my mom when I was very young. I was only 15 at that point of time, and I have brought myself up completely. I had no one to tell me what is right and what is wrong. My father was very busy in his profession, still is, will forever be, of course, because of the choice of profession he has in his life. And he couldn't give me that much time. But whatever he has given me, I'm thankful to God for that. Thankful to him for that. Couldn't thank him enough. Probably, I can't. But the relationship with myself, my body, was, of course, very thrilling. Growing up as a woman is very thrilling. You have a lot of body changes that come. You have a lot of emotional changes that follow along with that. You have a lot of, things that come up to you. You become curious. You become very subtle. You become silent. You become angry. You become a rebel. So probably the word that goes for me as a relationship with myself would be, I was a rebel. I was a complete rebel. I always wanted to, go out of what I am, because yes, of course, my body is what I am, but my body also has an identity, and so does my soul. So, comparing the two, difficult. But yes, right now, probably I've made peace, complete peace with it, and I'm sure that yes, they coexist together somewhere. The biggest incident in my life which alarmed me regarding body shaming was back in 2014, when I was very much into the fashion industry since a very long time. And I wanted to be a model at that point of time in my life. And there was a whole era of photography and fashion and glam, and it was like Kolkata was slowly adopting the whole mantra of fashion at that point of time. So even I wanted to be a model. And I was not very skinny, I never was. I was always very broad built, and I was chubby. And I liked being that. And I thought that, fashion is all about wearing your confidence and not your skin. But unfortunately, I was proven wrong by a lot of people. They told me that, I'm not good enough for stage. I'm too fat for photo shoots. I'm too, I'm too over the top. I was overrated, to be very honest. And that was a time when, I really felt lost, because being a fashion student myself, I've studied the subject. I've studied it for more than 3 years of my life, and I was shocked to understand and know that this is the fashion culture that belongs to the city where I live in, and I'm proud of, and which I represented, and I won a title for that. But then yes, I'm sure maybe 5 years, 10 years down the line, maybe we would broaden our minds, we would broaden our mindsets, and maybe we'll be there someday. See, to be honest, I guess the word fat has come from, it comes from science, okay? Everybody has some amount of fat in their body. You cannot have zero fat in your body. That's not possible. You'll die. So, I guess we are using the term more as a swear word right now in our lives. Yeah, just like we use other swear words. I guess, fat has become a swear word, and it has actually been a swear word throughout a generation, maybe an era now. So, there were so many other women with me, all glamorous and gorgeous and beautiful women. There were 50, okay? And I'm proud. I'm proud about the fact that so many women had actually the courage to come up there on the stage and, pose in probably 6-inch heels. We had to go through a very rigorous training for almost 72 hours, where we only could sleep for maybe 2 hours in a day, or 3 at times. We had early morning call times, and we had to be there on time, and we had to reach there. It was a whole chaos. There was a lot of fittings going on. There was a lot of changes, makeups, grooming sessions, this, that, and it was difficult, of course. But everyone over there, they were very, very encouraging. Everyone was very motivating. The mentors were very motivating. The organizers were very, very motivating, and it was a brilliant experience when we were there, when we were groomed and trained for the ramp, and the finale was like lights, camera, action, and we were all there, the music, the lights, the whole setup, the stage, glittering. Literally, it was like a runway, okay, and we were there walking, where many of us couldn't even probably imagine to reach such a place, where we were walking the stage on a national level beauty pageant. I would want them to understand what they actually want from themselves. I believe acceptance is the biggest happiness, that any man, any woman can get. I'm really sorry that we don't have such beauty pageants, or maybe such so-called genres, or such judgment standards for men in our society today. Body shaming is very hyped for women. What about men? They are not hyped. They are neither bracketed for this. Okay, but women are, since this whole rage of feminism is going around. Women are, but then men are not. So if you have to accept yourself, and if you have to understand what you want from yourself or from your body, all you have to do is start understanding yourself first and accept what you are. That's all. And I guess that is the biggest achievement that anyone can have in life, because it takes a lot of guts to accept what you are, and it takes a lot of guts to be truthful to yourself. It takes huge amount of courage to do that. Even I faced, it's not like I did not, I did. But then yes, I have made peace with it, and I accepted myself the way I am, and I love myself completely for that. There have been times I've victimized from myself. I've blamed myself for being what I am, blamed my body, blamed my my skin, everything. But then that's me, that's normal. I cannot be the glam doll you see on a fashion magazine every single moment of my life. I can be that once, maybe for a minute, maybe for a moment, but I cannot be that throughout. That's not possible. That's being fake. Because that is not regular. That is not normal. So, normalizing the fact that, okay, this is what I am, and accepting it. You're a man, you're a woman, you're both, you're androgynous, you're trans, anything, however your body treats you, however your mind treats you, just accept it. And I guess that way you will attain happiness at some point of time in your life.